Hey guys, Red here, and today I have another bid request, and it's quite a difficult one for me to pull off. Two reasons: I'm a garbage nurse at the moment since I don't play her too often, and two, here are the perks. Fur of Chase, which is basically every time I hook an obsession, my terror radius during chase is lowered by 4, which stacks 4 times, and when a survivor unhooks the obsession, they in turn become the obsession themselves. Remember Me is the second perk. For every time I hit the obsession, I gain a stack up to 4 to slow down the time it takes to open the exit gates for an additional 16 seconds max. I'm all ears to get Aura Read off of fast faults and Surge so I don't have to waste my time kicking them precious gens. The good thing about Nurse is that she really doesn't need perks in general if her blinks are on point. I had a few games before this where I was ending the game in under a few minutes, but this video, while it has many mistakes, makes use of every perk, and that's what I came here to do. Since I'm not the best nurse, I'll be dissecting some of my mistakes for those of you who are looking for helpful tips on how to play a better nurse. Who needs blinks when you can just walk at them? Am I right? We really start this game off with the first down, which took a lot longer than it should because of my earlier missed blinks. In the end, we get punished by losing one gen. One thing you can do as nurse if you have charged your power for a long time and the survivor doubles back on you is to look more towards the ground to shorten the range of your blink. I'm still learning the range of her lunge outside of blink, but you should never swing if you aren't close enough, as it buys the survivor way more time to gain distance. By the way, I'll be doing that a ton this game, so feel free to berate me in the comments if you so wish. I really want to start making use out of Remember Me and Fur of Chase, so I really gotta find that pesky obsession. When going against survivors, especially in higher ranks, you have to pay attention to what they do. For example, I need to keep in mind that when I go for my close blinks, most of the survivors here like to try and 360 and backtrack. The idea of using Nurse's power is for you to use your first blink to get as close as possible, and your second blink to reposition if needed. Something also keep in mind that I still mess up on is that you should never try and predict a survivor's movements when they're in a big line of sight blockers, as most of the time they will try to mind game your blink. Better to go straight at them and then use your second blink to reposition once again to get on top of them. In a normal game, by the way, I would never dedicate to a chase this long, but I want them stacks, baby. I honestly should have just went for Dweet, as he was a much easier choice at the time. Hitting a Dweet is oh so satisfying. It was a nice dead hard. Once you start to perfect your Nurse gameplay, you'll see a difference in time for chases. Nurse can end a chase in about 15 seconds and have someone down in under 25 seconds for a single chase. It's quite insane, but she takes a lot of work unless you just pick up naturally on her. I actually didn't need a second blink here, but I rushed myself, which when you play Nurse, you will at times feel rushed to make a second blink, but you have time to make a quick decision beforehand. Well, one of the goals is down. Max stacks on Remember Me. Now it will take the survivors an additional 16 seconds to open the exit gates. Quick blink should be one of the easier ones you learn to use, but don't try to go through walls with them as you'll most likely just eat the wall itself and look like a derp in the process. I've been there. I've done that. Trust me. When traversing the map with Nurse, try to use only one blink as it has the most range and has less of a cooldown than if you would have used both. Now I'll have 3 stacks of Furtive Chase, and that means 12 meters less on my Terrarius during chase. It really isn't a useful perk, and it could go for a huge rework. Do you have any ideas on how that could be changed? Let me know in the comment section down below. Nurse is the reigning Peekaboo champion, by the way. Talking about perks, Surge has always felt quite rough, except for when it was bugged and working with Pop, which I thought was okay as it used 2 perk slots. It doesn't really bring much to the table when comparing it to other slowdown perks, and I just really want to see more synergy perks for killers. Watch your blink bar, by the way. Here I thought I had 2 blinks when I only had 1. I honestly could have just walked at him right there, but I didn't. Finally getting some great use out of them all ears here. Now we've gotten use out of other times if my blinks have been more on point, but you know. All that time spent stacking Furtive Chase for it to be wiped clean because of killing Obsession. Funny, I don't feel any different than before. David over here trying to hide behind the fire. That'll teach that fire for trying to hide him. Won't lie, I am completely bamboozled here. Stealthy gamers attempting to be stealthy. Me, a casual, being a casual. I swung here to assert dominance, by the way. Totally different than an actual miss. Surge went off here, but since I'm blind to it, I went to check anyways. David is quite the stealthy one. Typically, I'd like to leave the hatch open for some fun times, but it's a stealthy gamer and I have to make use out remember me. Good luck opening the door before I find you, David. He's gonna stay hidden for a while, so if you are looking to really sit down on Nurse, I recommend you play her for about 20 games straight to really start to understand her power and understand the range on it. Also, a decent build on her would be Barbecue and Chili, Sloppy Butcher, Thanaphobia, and Hex Ruin. When you're on point with the blinks, feel free to swap Hex Ruin for any other perk that fits your fancy, or like a real boss, go perkless to assert dominance. Well, hello there, David. Again, dominance, not boosted. Gifts from stealthy players do not please me, David. You will die today. Well, everyone, that's it for this build request, and I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have a killer or a build request you would like to see, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll start working on it as soon as possible. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and a sub so you can keep up on all my future content. I hope you peekaboo kill some survivors in your next games, and as always, I'm Red, and I'm signing off.